So after panels have been routed or cut out or welded and so on, all the panels will move ahead to the painting department. In the painting department, the first step is the pre-treating of the aluminium. We are making the aluminium ready to receive the paint. So the pre-treatment has two jobs to do. It has to prepare for the adhesion of the paint, but it also has to give the aluminium a good outdoor durability, so protecting from corrosion. So we are preparing a hang for the crane system with all the aluminium parts that have been manufactured the last 2 or 3 hours, and we are creating a hang that matches those products that have been manufactured during this time. So the crane system will bring all the aluminium parts through different baths. There are actually 12 different baths here and an oven system. The whole process takes 25 minutes or so, and the first thing that happens is that it's washed with hot water and soap. A little later it will get acid. The acid will remove small scratches, small impurities in the surface and make the aluminium ready to take the actual pre-treatment, which is Oxylan. The Oxylan will give it the outdoor durability, and it will make sure that the paint will have a good adhesion to the surface. During the process it will be washed a couple of times with pure water, and at the final step it's dried in an oven, so when it comes out the whole crane or hang on the crane will be dried and ready to go for the paint. The paint we use is polyester-based wet paint. It's oven hardened, meaning that the ovens are approximately 185 degrees at a certain step in the process. The first part of the oven will bring out the solvents of the paint, and the next steps will make sure that it's hardening completely. So the oven process is typically 15-20 minutes, and when it comes out it's cooled down and it's ready to move on in the factory, and it's actually fully hardened. This means that there's no VOC coming out from the paint, so it could be taken in and installed in an office or school or whatever immediately. Over time we have made more than 3,000 different recipes or matches of paint. So with this wet paint we have 14 different tone colors, and we have a base white. So with this base white and a number of milligrams or grams of different tone colors, we can mix exactly the color that we need to make for a certain customer. So over 3,000 different colors we have made. We have a recipe and a hard copy of each and every one, so that we can redo the exact same color. We can of course match the normal color references like RAL or NCS. We can also match a lot of the Pantone colors. I would say that Pantone can be a bit tricky because Pantone actually chooses to change their colors. So if you have matched, for instance, Pantone 203 back in 1982, and you now want to do the same color, Pantone has changed the color, but we actually want to produce the exact same that we did back in 1982, because we want to be able to supply the exact same colors to the existing customer. So that's why we have in our web tool, we're actually showing that the year that this Pantone color was matched. So you can see if it's a quite new match or if it's an old match. In the paint department, we will try to gather all the orders that are asking the same color. So it's a different way of nesting in here. When panels comes out of the oven system and it's cooled down, we will do the quality check, the visual quality check of the surface. If there's dust or impurity in the surface, some of our materials we can sand and repaint. Others will simply be scratched and sent for recycling. In the paint booth with the machine, we have the possibility of painting both on the machine and manually. We use the machine when it's more than, let's say, 5 trays of panels that need this specific color. If it's less than that, then we'll hand paint them and just place them on the belt and put them through the machine without using the machine, but sending it through to the oven system. Otherwise, main part, probably something like 80% of our orders will be painted on the machine. We have different ways of testing our paint, and that is mainly the flexibility of the paint and the adhesion of the paint to the aluminium. So we have a scratch cross-cutting bullet test, and we have a bending test where we are making sure that it's flexible enough. The recipes of the different paints is stored in our computer system, but every time we make a new match or new portion of paint, we of course use this recipe to create the paint or to mix the paint. But we will also paint a sample and harden it and compare it with the hard copy that we have in our system, so that we know that we are matching the colors that we have made for the same customer previously. For larger panels or non-flat panels like legs, frames, and for smaller panels that need paint all over, where it's possible to put a hole in them so they can hang, we have this manual paint booth, which is much bigger, and it has the possibility of turning it around a leg, a frame, while we are painting it. So after painting, each item will be hanged on these yellow bars, and it will bring the panels into the oven system, and it will harden it exactly like we're doing after the machine. So once it comes out, it's completely dry.